Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Frackin State. Today, we are talking about a couple of weeks ago, Mike Elko's comments on the college football expansion and the playoffs. And then we're going to be talking about that little bit of beef with Texas and Texas Tech, and of course, the groundbreaking news about Brennan Sorsby being granted an injunction to be able to play in 2026. All that on this episode of Frackin State. I got, as the title on his thing says, Emily's boyfriend, but it's really just Bryson. How are we doing, Bryson?
Hey guys. Hey, first of all, shout out to my girlfriend. I don't know if they can see it, but Emily's boyfriend here. She's on a mission trip right now, so prayers up for her. I'm doing good though. Excited to talk about the Brendan Torsby situation and also Mike Elko's comments, but mostly just the craziness of what's going on with Texas Tech these past couple weeks.
Yeah. So let's start off with Elko, because then the other two kind of go together a bit more. Yeah. So at the SEC, I think coaches meetings is what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's in Destin, Florida. Spring meetings, I don't know. Journalists go to it, and it's pretty open to the public now. It used to not be. But he was saying that he wanted, what did he want? Like, he wanted 40 teams. Most of these coaches, if it was up to him, 40 teams, right? But it's okay to make it more competitive. If he's looking out for himself, of course he wants the bigger amount of teams. So I really like that comment, and as a OU guy, right? Like I'm an A&M. I like A&M, so I already like Mike Elko. How did you feel about these comments?
So just to make this clear, Mike Elko said he would like it to be 40 teams.
He would say, like, if we're going to expand it, like, let's just go 40. But, like, he's saying it's okay to keep it competitive, so let's stick with 12. Hard to get into. Is essentially the gist of what he was saying. Like, like, selfishly, I would want it 40. But, like, it's good to have it. Hard to get into.
Right. Yeah. I think I don't think this is really me even speaking as an OU fan, but more so just as a fan of competitive, good sport. Yeah, I mean, I can appreciate like the acknowledgement of like, hey, like selfishly, if we just let the top 40 teams in, we'll be in there every year. So it's like, I get that as a head coach. You're like, yeah, I want my team to be there every year. Let's make it 40 teams. But
and they don't
then
get
also
fired.
Acknowledging the fact, yeah, you never get fired. Acknowledging the fact that like keeping it lower and more competitive is actually better for the sport and is actually like what people want. So I appreciate that. Like, yeah, as an OU guy, like, we might not make the playoffs every year. We didn't 2 years ago. We did last year, but we didn't 2 years ago. And, that lights a fire under you. That lights a fire under your coach. It gives them like reason to be better. It gives your players a reason to be better. It gives your fans a reason to, like call for changes or for more out of your team and expect more. So I think the current situation that we have with it being 12 teams, I was already a fan of a lower amount of teams getting in. I think 12 is fine. I think the way that we're currently doing it isn't quite right, but I think 12 is fine. And what's most important is that we keep accountability for these teams and we keep the competitive nature of the sport. So, you have 40 teams, like exactly like you just said. Like a coach can go 8-4 every season, make the playoff, never have to worry about getting fired. You can be James Franklin every single year, and it's just like you got the most cush job in the world. That'd be a real tragedy. So I would hate to see that.
Yeah, especially because then what, you just make the playoff to get bounced. Like, as a Steelers, like, I'm not a Steelers fan, but like, they make the playoffs like every single year and they get bounced. I don't see Steelers fans being like, "Oh, we love doing this every single year." They're like, "We're getting nowhere close to the Super Bowl."
Yeah, I mean it's like a joke at this point.
Right. Like it's literally like, "Oh, they're gonna go, 9-8, make the playoffs, get bounced
Losing
in
the
the
first
first
round.
round
Yeah.
every single year.
And
Never losing
people
season."
say that, and it's like, oh, it's fine, but it's not fun. It's not good. Like nobody wants that out of their team. Like if I could tell you, hey Cody, every single year Texas A&M is going to go 9-3. They're going to be the last team in the playoff, and they're going to lose in the first round. Would you want that, or would you want some seasons where you're bad and you don't make the playoffs, some seasons where you're good and you're competitive? Like obviously you're going to take the second option, even though like losing sucks and not making the playoffs sucks. It doesn't suck as much as being mediocre always.
Yeah, I think being middle of the pack, like either like if you just make it always and you're middle of the pack and you don't actually have a chance to win the championship, then it's just like it's kind of a moot point. You're like just kind of going through the motions. And it just kind of comes bland to you. I honestly I don't know how Steelers fans would do that. But this isn't an NFL podcast, but like obviously that's the best, like, it's either you compete or you don't. And so I think especially if you go lower in or higher in teams, sure, the first few years, like if I was that athletic director or GM, I'd be like, sure, you can make the playoffs the first few years and you won't get fired. And it's going to be relatively easy. But then you got to start winning these games because, like, that's just not acceptable. Like, your baseline, your floor can be that, but your ceiling has to go higher than just that also. So, thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's like the standard would change. It's like, okay, like yeah, you're making the playoff, but so do half of the other teams in the SEC. So you're not really setting yourself apart. So like the standard would elevate because like right now with the system we have, if you make the playoff, you're not getting fired as head coach. There's just no scenario. But we have 40 teams. You could probably make the playoff for 4 years in a row. And if you're losing that first round every single time, they're probably like, okay, we need to make a change. Because the standard's going to change if that many teams are being able to get in.
And what I like about the 12 team now is that even Heupel, who made it 2 years ago with Tennessee, like if he goes 8-4 again, they're gonna probably want him. He's gonna be on the hot seat the following season. Like they're not wanting to just sit and be mediocre. They want either excellence or just like it strives you to be better. I think he overachieved at first. And now you're like, even now, you see like, okay, now you have to make the playoffs and you have to win. Like, and that's with 12. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot of room for error in a 12-team playoff. Like there's a little bit, but not a lot.
No, certainly not. So now we'll move on to the Texas and Texas Tech little bit of beef. I don't know if you heard about this one, Bryson. Have you?
Yeah, Texas Tech saying they'll buy out 2 of their games to be able to play
Texas because Sark was saying that his 2s and 3s could win.
Which is a crazy comment. Yeah.
Yeah. And Texas Tech was like, all right,
but is it a crazy comment? I don't know. It might be a crazy comment. It's a crazy thing to say. He could be right. I don't. Anybody
but the thing is, we have evidence of Texas playing in the Big 12 under Sark.
I mean, they won the last year that they were there. Our most recent evidence is them winning.
Right. But was that with his 2s and 3s?
No, it was not with his 2s and 3s.
So, And evidently, I think it was also worse then because BYU wasn't in it. Utah wasn't in it.
Yeah. Texas Tech wasn't the same team we see now.
None of these teams were taking it as seriously. Or I think BYU was because I remember us.
BYU was close. I remember in their game. I remember watching their game against OSU, and if they had won that game, I think OSU wouldn't have gone to the Big 12 championship. It would have been like
I
either
thought
them or something else. But like they were starting to get competitive towards the end there.
yeah. So like, I mean, I guess there's just like I thought that was really a great move by Tech because we're gonna get to the really bad move by Tech, in a little bit.
Here's my thing. It's a great thing to say to be like, oh, we'll buy out our games to be able to play you, and like, but when you're saying that, you kind of know that that's not going to happen. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like
100%.
it's kind of like Vanderbilt saying last year, like, oh, we'll go play an extra game against Notre Dame. It's like maybe like you would actually like to do that, but you know it's not going to actually happen. So you can kind of just say these outlandish things, and it makes you maybe sound good, sound confident, and maybe like even you genuinely would be willing to do that. But if you know it's not going to happen, then what's really the point in saying it? You know?
Right. But but now you put the egg on Texas because if they don't do it,
Mm-hmm. And they
they
don't at least
look
like
like the
say like, oh yeah,
cowards.
we're into it. Let's try and make it happen. And then like eventually like, oh, for
Obviously,
whatever
they
reason we can't
wouldn't
do
do
it.
that. They have to play Ohio State week 2.
Right.
So unless they want to buy out Ohio State to play,
Yeah,
that would be the craziest thing.
that'd be a big buyout.
I think ESPN would be livid about that one.
I mean, yeah, there'd be a lot of people upset there.
Yeah, but like you just throw the egg in Texas's face because obviously they're not going to do it. And so they look like the cowards, and you're like, well, you're not playing us. You can't stand behind it. Now, obviously, maybe then you'd be like, okay, next year, rack them up. Let's do it next year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of on Texas at this point to respond.
If that was without Sorsby, that would have been interesting. Like,
I mean, it would have been.
I don't think they had a chance. Tech did not have a chance.
No. I mean, especially losing the players they lost on defense and then, yeah, not having your quarterback. It wouldn't have been close.
But, as I just mentioned his name, we're going to get into this. Now.
Oh, my goodness.
With Brendan Sorsby, so you have a bunch of Tech fans, right?
Yeah, I got a bunch of friends that are Tech fans. Yeah. I haven't talked to them about this yet.
I would assume if you're a Tech fan, you're either really for it or you're really against it. Because if now the precedent was, right, if you gamble on a game and you get caught, he didn't even get caught. He just admitted to it, right? Like, and he gets granted to be able to play. What Pandora's box did he just open? That judge opened? Like, what? I don't think there's a more black or white issue in sports that's like, you cannot do this. And he did it and admitted to it. And you're just like, and he's allowed to play now? What? Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad. I'm sure and I hope that the NCAA will challenge this and, that they'll push against this and they fight against it. I mean, this is exactly what you said. It's such a terrible precedent that we're setting. When we look at the precedent of the past, Reggie Bush had to vacate a Heisman and USC had to vacate the national championship because he got like a little bit of free money from like an NIL that he was supposed to get. If you look at Chase Young, he was suspended for 2 games because his girlfriend got a free flight to the Rose Bowl. And it's just like, you look at all these things. We look at, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was literally like 2 years ago. He bet about roughly $3,000 in games that he was not involved in, and still had the rest of his career. It was over. Brendan Sorsby bet roughly $90,000, a lot of them on games he was directly involved in, and is now getting granted an injunction. Again, also by the 4 judges who presided over this case, all graduated from Texas Tech. So just that, food for thought. But yeah, it's such a terrible precedent that we're setting that, if you cry about it enough and you have enough money to get the right lawyer, you can do whatever you want. You're free from consequence. And, they made this statement saying like, oh, if we didn't rule in this way, then he would like suffer this great loss of
injury.
Irreparable, not being able to enjoy the camaraderie and the privileges that come with being on the D1 football team. I think Josh Pate, I just watched a video of him earlier. He said it perfectly. He said that used to be called consequences.
Right.
Now they don't exist. It's like we don't live in the same world we lived in a week ago, where your actions have consequences. And I've seen so many memes now of like, I sent you, I think, a post kind of full of them, and it was like Oregon fans being like, actually, we don't agree with the loss. It made us sad, so we are now national champions. Or like JMU is like, the loss to Oregon in the playoff is being vacated because it made us sad, so we are co-claiming national champions with Indiana. It's like,
we are.
Yeah, you can do that.
We're asking for an injunction for that to be vacated.
Yeah.
And we actually advance in the playoffs. Like, I think, obviously, like, you look at the NCAA, right? And there's eligibility, that's a problem, obviously, like, too many. And there's a bunch of issues, like Trinidad Chambliss is a medical waiver. That was, like, weird eligibility. They could lose that. Joey Aguilar. And then, like, also that one, who was the G League player that was coming back?
I don't even know. That was crazy too, but not as bad as this.
He got it like denied, which was good.
Yeah,
because the judge said, I'm not gonna set a precedent for this to be. I'm not gonna be the first guy to do this. Which, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, having some common sense.
Stand strong. But if the NCAA cannot do the one thing they are supposed to do and get this appealed, how foolish. And obviously, I feel like if you listen to what Josh Pate said, you know exactly how foolish are you as coaches, previous coaches, players, staffs that self-reported yourself and got banned or whatever from the NCAA because he self-reported and just got an injunction to play. How foolish do you feel? Because they look like a Rottweiler and they were a Chihuahua barking behind that fence. Because listen, I don't know if a Chihuahua's ever come up to try and get you off your yard. You're like, you come any closer, you're getting punted. Like, I mean, am I wrong or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I used to have a Chihuahua when I was younger, and he was fierce. He would bite people. But now that I'm older, I'm like, it wasn't that scary.
Right. Like, if you see a Rottweiler, like, that's how they bark. They bark like they're a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
And you just get scared. But really, they have no teeth. They're just, like, it's like an old toothless dog. You're like, oh, this is just really sad. Like, can't even do anything. Like, that's what the NCAA has come at this point.
Yeah, I mean, no, I hope that they are able to appeal this and it just gets, it gets resolved quickly. And not to say that like I hate Brendan Sorsby or anything like that. Like, I still feel bad for the guy. Like, gambling is a problem. I hope that he gets all the help that he needs. But there are also, like, two things can be true at once, are consequences for your actions. You were doing something you knew to be illegal in this, not illegal in the sense of like you're going to go to jail, but illegal in the sense of like you signed up to do something. These are the rules. You broke the rules. The consequences are you don't get to do the thing anymore. I think that's pretty fair. That's like not a problem for anything else. If I, am like, hey, Cody, can I come over to your house? And you're like, yeah, just don't pee on the floor. Then I pee on the floor and you're like, hey, okay, you got to leave my house now. And then I'm like, I'm going to go get an injunction so that I can stay in your house. That'd be very weird. You're like, no, I had one rule and you broke it. You have to leave. It's like, no. I'm going to go find a courtroom full of people who have also peed on the floor before so that I can get back into your house. And it sounds like a silly, analogy, but it's exactly what just happened. We have 4 people ruling who have gone to the same school and probably continue to still root for the team that he's a part of. I mean, this is ridiculous. And this shows that money can buy you out of situations now in college football when they used to be above that. They used to have some kind of integrity.
And also, like, now with the Big 12 is stuck in a really sticky situation because, like, their Tech is now one of their biggest brands. Like, it's literally their champion right now.
Shout out to Cody Campbell.
Now, SEC teams, Big 10 teams, ACC teams, they're like, don't play them.
Mm-hmm.
I bet Big 12
teams.
Yeah,
was it Georgia and Nebraska have both, like, finalized that already?
I don't know. But I feel like that, which I doubt they do, or maybe just for the future, but like, this puts such a villain arc on Texas Tech, and I think you'd think it would have been LSU. No.
Yeah.
I don't.
We thought LSU were going to be the bad guys this year.
Like,
the Red Raiders.
And honestly, I'm very surprised that, like, I don't think it's Tech's fault, but they should have just been like, no, we're dropping the kid immediately after this came out. Like, rip up the contract, NIL contract. And this is why some bit of governance is good. Because if you have a collective bargaining or these better NIL contracts where, like, now you still gotta kind of pay the kid, but you gotta, like, could you rip it up because you're like, no, you just did what you weren't supposed to do and kick him off the team? I don't know. Maybe that's why they feel stuck and they need him back. But I would have just gone with Will Hammond after all that self-reporting happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a bad situation. I hope it just gets resolved and we don't have to worry about this. I mean, if Brendan Sorsby is allowed to play football for Texas Tech this season,
they get 2 games. He's suspended 2 games, which is crazy. Right. And obviously it sucks. Like, you want to be able to prepare still for either the supplemental draft. And so this appeal has to go in really quick. Like, they got 12 days because the supplemental draft is on the 22nd, I think. I don't know. I feel like he's not making it into the NFL because they know about this. Because what NFL franchise is taking someone who is doing this?
Probably the Browns.
You're probably right. It's probably.
I think they just are drafting a new quarterback in the 4th or 5th round every year now. So.
Do they get it right? Probably I don't know.
Didn't they draft another quarterback this year, right?
I don't think so.
That up.
Research.
Yeah, they took Taylor Green. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
They're just going to keep doing it until they hit one.
Legendary Arkansas quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how to feel about this, honestly. I'm just mad. Like, I feel bad for him, obviously, but I'm also like, this is stupid. Why the I don't know. Can we go back to arguing about the playoffs?
Yeah.
That at least was like a fight I was willing. Like, this shouldn't even be like everyone. I think, especially on the internet, is just really mad about this. Except if you're a Tech fan.
Like something like the playoffs, it's more lighthearted. If the playoffs made the 64 teams, my life doesn't really change, and life goes on. It's like this really does change so much about college football if he's able to play. What's going to continue to happen, And then also, from a moral standpoint, what does that say about gambling addictions? What does that have the NCAA and our legal system saying about gambling systems? And, what does that mean for future players, looking at this as something they can just get away with now? And they can be proud of it. They can say, hey, yeah, I gamble. And then I gamble on games that I play in. And it's like, oh, hey, well, you shouldn't do that. It's like, oh, well, you can't do anything. I'll just go get an injunction. I'll just plead. What was the wording again, Cody? That they ruled in his favor for? He would suffer
irreparable damage.
Irreparable damage. Yeah. Irreparable injury. Yeah, to his mental health. Yeah.
Which,
come on.
Also, if you're a sportsbook, you're losing so much money on this now. Because no one is going to bet on Tech, I bet, now.
Interesting.
Because, would you? If you think...
I wouldn't in general, but tell me more.
Well, okay, so just humor me for a second. If you were sports betting.
Yeah.
And you found out now that Brendan Sorsby was able to play, would you bet on Texas Tech?
I'd be worried. No, because I'm just like, is he going to play the whole season? What's going to happen? He's suspended for 2 games.
Is he going to bet on his own game? How is he going to bet on his own game? You don't know if he's active doing it, so you're probably not going to suspend it. And now there's probably people who have bet already, and they're like, I want my money back.
Mm-hmm.
We saw this news, and I bet that sportsbook is like, you can't do anything about that. There's not something where they're like, oh, because the integrity of the game is now gone, and you don't know. The sportsbooks are going to challenge it too, because you would think they're obviously making a lot of money, but they don't want the money to be made from college athletes, professional athletes. That is not what they want. They want to make it from the general
If everyone's
public.
aware that the people playing in the games are betting on their own games, then nobody would bet on them because they would be afraid of what they're going to do. They're like, oh, did John Mateer take us under today? Then I can't bet on OU. So, yeah, you're losing all of that money.
Is he point shaving for this?
Right, yeah. You don't want that.
Oh, he's sliding now because he bet under his rushing yards? What? What?
Sometimes watching games, it already does feel like that, especially watching NBA games. I'll be watching guys, and I'm like, bro, come on, you had to have taken your under. How are you doing this? Or you had to take the guy your garden's over. What's going on here? But
even then, people who have done that for themselves, they've helped other people with their sports bets. They've gotten in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Because of them actively being influenced by how other people bet on them.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like insider trading.
Right. So sportsbooks obviously are gonna throw as many lawyers on this because this just the integrity of the game is the one thing that you can put your hat on and be like, I'm proud about this. But with this, it's just it got spat on. It got spat in the face of, and honestly, it's very discouraging. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it proceeds. Hoping for a positive outcome out of all this, but we'll see.
I still think Texas Tech is now going to be the villain. Regardless
if he plays or not, yeah.
Because, and honestly, I mean, I said it before earlier, but Tech should have just abandoned ship after that point, right? Like, they shouldn't have been like, oh, we're going to help you out here, give you some lawyers and stuff. Because I think this is a pretty black and white case. Like, what were they thinking of? Oh, he's going to get the injunction.
Right, and it's tough for them because, like, going into it, they weren't at fault for anything. Like, you know, I think most of it was done while he was at Indiana. Like, they can plead total innocence. Like, hey, we didn't know about it. Once we did know about it, like, we came out and told everybody, you know, we got him into a rehab center. It's not on them. So, like, Texas Tech looks like the good guys until this, and now they're all wrapped up in it because it's like, this is just not a good look for them. Regardless of what happens from here on out, it's already stained their portion of this story.
Right. And also, I forgot what I was going to say. I had a thought and it just went poof. Well, I guess we'll move on. Hey Bryson, what is it that people can do that it's connected to my Instagram and Twitter? What is that again?
It's a mailbag.
Oh, okay. You mind telling them what
I forgot the word for a second there. I almost said meal bag. So if you want to send a happy meal to Cody, you can go to his Instagram, Frackin State. You can go to his Twitter, Cody G. Leave a comment on this YouTube video. Also, speaking of, sorry, a little off topic. Your last YouTube video, the college tour thing, Josh Pate posted that same kind of video yesterday.
He did?
Friend of the channel.
Okay, friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
I feel like I listened to another video where he did that.
He's probably done that before, but he just posted a video of him doing it yesterday.
Oh, friend of the program, Josh.
Friend of the program. You know, I'm sure he watches. So, hey, Josh, we don't mind, you know, using the same ideas. We'll continue to bounce off each other.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to send in a hot take or a question for Cody to answer on the pod, send it to him by Twitter, via Tweeter, or I guess X. It's not even Twitter anymore. X, Instagram, YouTube comments, all available. Hit him up.
By the way, I don't know if you saw the comment from the last video. Someone was saying that Sorsby was gonna get the injunction. Like they were
Someone called it?
No, he was like, Sorsby would be back for the Cincinnati game if his suspension was 6 games, which it's 2. So I didn't think at that. I laughed at that comment. I'm like, there's no way. So I could look like a real fool here.
This was the last video you said?
Yes.
Here, look at the comment. As Sorsby gets a 6-game suspension like they're asking for, he'll be back for the Cincy game. Wow.
Shout out to... Can you read his name, please?
SEC Sean.
SEC Sean. Shout out.
Wow.
That was crazy.
Oh, he makes videos as well.
You know, Cincinnati, the whole country is going to be rooting for Cincinnati on that day. And I bet Cincinnati is like, oh, thank God, actually.
Come to play. Yeah, SEC Sean makes football videos or college football videos as well.
Oh, that's funny.
So
Yeah,
friend of the program.
friend of the program. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. You know,
okay, Cody, how could they if they like this video and wanted to see more that were like this video, how would they be able to, continue to do that?
It's this red button, like it's red like my hat.
Mm.
Honestly, it does have an S unit, it doesn't have a T or an L, but it says subscribe. And you just click that, and you're subscribed to the channel. It's free. Who doesn't want to hear us ramble about peeing on the floor?
I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my mind. That's that might have been a miss.
those silly, goofy moments. Who doesn't want to hear that? So, subscribe. Take your friends' phones and subscribe for them. Don't do the same for sports bets. We discourage that here at Frackin State. And
you should spend your money on. Go down to Sonic and get a sweet tea because it's delicious.
And there's what's the thing that like rings?
Oh, like a bell?
Oh yeah, they should hit the bell because it notifies them about when I post a video. So yeah. With all that being said, hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment what you think about Sorsby being granted this injunction. I really want to hear your fiery comments about it, and or the analogy about peeing on. I don't know. Like, maybe think of a better one for him. I don't know. Yeah. See y'all next time, and God bless.